This is what I mean. It's like, hey, he's a GOAT, so he's going to do what GOATs do.
Bah.
So in case you don't get it, he's a GOAT. In case the joke didn't sink in already. In case the word didn't really amuse you, didn't really do anything for you. We'll do a whole bye sequence right here.
Oh, it keeps going too.
Yeah, it's going longer than that. But
hey, if it's not funny the first time, just keep repeating it over and over
in case
until people laugh.
Yeah, we gotta laugh eventually.
In case you don't get it. I will be back at the Broadway Comedy Club on April 17th. That's a Friday, 9 p.m. show for a night of sit-down comedy with myself. You can get your tickets for that by going to doubletoastedny.com, or you can go to doubletoasted.com. People don't think about it, but we're always saying, this is the GOAT, that is the GOAT. You know, he's the GOAT, she's the GOAT. Nobody considers how that makes actual goats feel, man. And it's even worse when people always calling people the GOAT, and goats not even allowed to play in the actual game that they're referring to other people as the GOAT in. I'm talking about this movie GOAT right here, and I'm talking about my man, is his name Will?
Yeah,
Will the GOAT. Will don't want to do anything in life but play basketball. And he's good. He's actually great. But where he's from, there's a sort of a caste system, if you will, a social hierarchy, and they let Will know, like, man, listen, it's not your fault. You were born a small, and by small they mean too small to play basketball. You know, if you're not one of the big creatures, if you don't have the right DNA, you're never gonna make it to the animal NBA, whatever they got going on. So,
man, he's like Skilo.
Yeah, man. And so, you know, we have another underdog sports story right here. Will just says, you know what? I just got to prove myself. Go out there and just play the game, because he's given a big opportunity to be one of the first smalls to play in the league with the big boys, literally the big creatures out there. But we know that behind the scenes, these sports is a business. And there's another motive for having my man in the game. It's not just for his skill. It's one big publicity stunt.
Yeah, this sport is not immune to exploitation.
No, it is not. They set my man up for failure. So now he got everything going against him. He's got to prove himself against the big people out there, but he has to do it against a system that's rigged against him. Can you believe that this is a children's film with stakes these high? I'm sorry, a family film. It's just not for the kids. The stakes are so high, the tension is so thick that even adults would be drawn into this. Or will they? Let's go ahead and take a look at this Stephen Curry produced film right here. GOAT. And it's getting a lot of attention right now because of Curry's name behind it. And also, well, you know what? Animation is just the thing these days.
Sure.
Especially
this type of animation.
This type of animation, for sure. Let's take a look at this trailer, and we'll be back with our reviews.
Let's go, Mom. We're so close.
It's my baby. What happened to no kids in the locker room?
I breathed it in. Does it live?
I mean, I ain't nothing against a fart joke, but that was wrong. get your kids. that kind of made me mad. I did him like that.
Yeah, we have to limit her screen time.
I mean, if the odds weren't already against him enough, Will is also having to compete with Jet Fillmore, the star player of the Thorns, who is getting up there in age, and she's having to prove herself a little bit harder now. She's not the same at the game as she used to be. Also, he talked trash to the wrong animal, dude named Main Event, who's out there making diss tracks about him and everything, and he's gunning for him too, gunning for him to fail. So, damn, everything is going up against this GOAT, man.
Sure.
What's going to happen?
Also, he's broke.
He's broke.
Brent dude.
Yeah, got kicked out of his apartment, sleeping on couches. Damn, man, this dude needs a win. And you can see it's not going to be easy.
But luckily, we got 90 more minutes.
Yeah, we do. No, we got an hour and 40 minutes of this to deal with. And listen, we're talking about the animation here. 'Cause that's the first thing we said, that besides some of the names pushing this, is that you have this style of animation that is very popular right now, made popular with the Sony Spider-Man animated films, the Spider-Verse movies. And they've been pushing it more here. They're really pushing a dynamic style of animation with this. You know, it's always moving fast, extreme angles. You know, there's always speed lines and effects going on. Normally, that is not my thing, for things to be this hectic, things to be this kinetic, you know, things to be just this overwhelming. In live action, it would be crazy annoying.
Yeah.
If you didn't have epilepsy, you would get it watching this if it was in live action. But it's very consistent here. I mean, it's always going on to where, say, you're getting used to it or whatever, but at least for me, I was like, all right, well, I kind of like this animation. It's got a lot of energy. It's consistent, and it fits. This animation fits, man. Because now it's a stylistic choice that they're doing.
The thing with the extreme angles and perspective, that's been used in sports artwork forever.
Yeah, that is.
So that's what makes it fit.
No, thank you, Martin. That is true. I didn't even think about that. That is. Hey, what he said. I did not even think about that.
Well,
but that's
it's
true.
also has kind of a graffiti quality to it, and since they open with playing basketball on the courts in the park or wherever, it all kind of comes together.
Yeah, it's got graffiti colors, and even if you've seen graffiti characters, they got those extreme poses. Every frame, if you stop it, it's a gorgeous painting, or it's a gorgeous comic book panel. I was overwhelmed, but I was overwhelmed in the best way. It's one of those things where it's going so fast, it just pulls you in, and you just kind of swimming in it. And I really enjoyed that.
It took me a while to get used to it.
Did it?
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Yeah,
he was going to say, he said it too.
Yeah, because it's just so this and all the time. I mean, I eventually did, but at first I was like,
yeah.
Man.
No, I can see where it gets exhausting, man. I enjoyed it, but it's a preference. I enjoy this style of animation. I can definitely see people like, God damn, man, slow down. You know.
Also, like when Spider-Verse came out, it was like, wow, never seen this before.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
other than the Peanuts movie, but like this. But now there's been a bunch of stuff that's been, using this. Almost as like Sony must have like patented this. Or they just say, this is our brand now.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little less special.
The novelty's worn off a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. But again, like I said, it's just, a matter of preference. And I definitely understand people who get exhausted watching this. Some people might not get used to it at all. So I get that too. But either way it goes, you're going to hear a lot of people talk about how this is just the artwork, the animation, the art direction is just, it's gorgeous. It's just breathtaking. Story, on the other hand, is the very opposite of the graphics right here. The story is just kind of is just sitting there.
It's just there.
It's just there because
it's just like, well, you know the drill, right?
Yeah, people. The story is the story is a one word joke. They took the saying the goat and made a movie about a goat.
Yeah,
and then a goat that plays basketball, so they have a reason to say the GOAT, who's also a GOAT.
Right. Yeah. There's that, and there's the Skilo song. I wish I was a little bit taller.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So it's like they took that song and just said like, well, we'll write it about that.
People. It's so simple that it's actually set up for a funnier joke, really. It's like, y'all just kind of took it and did the most basic thing with it, where people would be inspired to take something so simple and be like, okay, we can make something really clever out of a very simple premise. It's because for somebody else to take it, it would be a clever play on the obvious instead of somebody just taking it and being like, hey, see what we did? Go. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I caught that from the title. So what did you guys do with it?
Yeah,
he's the GOAT. I don't know what else to say. You explain it.
Yeah. And this is what I mean. It's like, hey, He's a goat, so he's gonna do what goats do.
Bah.
So in case you don't get it, he's a goat. In case the joke didn't sink in already. In case the word didn't really amuse you, didn't really do anything for you. We'll do a whole bye sequence right here.
Oh, they keeps going too.
Yeah, it's going longer than that. But
Hey, if it's not funny the first time, just keep repeating it
Yeah.
over and over
In case
until people laugh.
Yeah, we gotta laugh eventually.
in case you don't get it. The real problem is that it's going to take that one word joke, and which is already, again, just something obvious that they don't really try to do anything more clever with, and then they make it even more predictable by making it a predictable underdog sports story, or in this case, an undergoat story right here. The inspired thing that they do here is that, what they do a play with animal environments that's already been done better in another film. What they do here is that they go to these different basketball arenas, and it's really going by video game design. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You got the
level.
If it's one of the Mario games where you get to choose the environment and it's always got a theme.
Yeah.
yeah.
In every video game, if you go to different levels, especially if it's a platform or something, you got the fire or the lava level, you got the ice level like they got here, you got the jungle level as you see right there.
Yeah. It's all decked out in these themes, and it's like, I don't actually see any reason for this.
Yeah, listen, visually it's still amazing. They do some fun things with them. I remember you saw the ice breaking and the stalactites falling from the ceiling. But Zootopia already did that. Zootopia made a whole movie about a world of animals coming from different environments trying to get along together, building a whole, utopia out of it, a whole city, a whole ecosystem out of it. They really did something where they built a world. Here, this is just backdrop. The environmental themed worlds were done much better in Zootopia because the animal world is better. Now, if you take out the basketball and goat, you just got a generic ass version of Zootopia. It's just, you got a version of Zootopia where they don't have any kind of social commentary. They don't have any kind of they don't have any kind of cleverness going on. It's just the damn Dollar Tree Zootopia right? And it's too bad because Zootopia had social commentary, and Goat has its own kind of Zootopia commentary too, but they don't do much with it. The way Zootopia used the animal social hierarchy as an analogy for racism, they could have pushed that in this movie right here. The whole social hierarchy thing where smaller animals are now not allowed to play ball. People, they appropriated him. They appropriated the goats in this movie. They appropriated the species, and they won't even let him play because he's too small.
What are the rules, y'all?
Smalls can't ball. A goat.
Let me show you what I got.
This could have been another message about discrimination, but they kind of glossed over it. And I'm not saying it has to even have that kind of commentary. I'm not saying that it has to be that kind of movie. I'm just saying that it's such a straightforward sports underdog story. It, something like that probably would have helped it raise it a little bit above that,
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, one thing on the plus side is that you have this, roar ball, which is basically basketball.
Yeah.
But not, it's interspecies, but it's also
Oops, sorry.
cross gender. Male and female play in the same game. So I thought that was something on the plus side.
No, that is on the plus side. No, that is.
But everything else you're saying, I agree with wholeheartedly. Honestly, I came here expecting you and I to disagree on a lot of this, and you're just saying all the stuff I was thinking in my head.
Well, the review ain't over yet.
Well, even if you plan to do a switcheroo, the old Coleman shuffle, you still point out a lot of the things I felt about this.
No, elaborate then.
Well, it was one where it's like, all right, the artwork is cool. Like I said, like you and I were both saying, it's hard to. It's a lot to deal with when it begins at first. But there's points when the story itself calms down. So at that point, then it becomes a lot easier. But at the end, it's a pretty generic sports underdog story that doesn't really do much, and it always feels like it. Not only is it going to, but you could just see how it could. There's so much more it could say. There's so much more it could do.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was like, I feel like it's like the first draft of the script.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, just do that.
Either the first draft or a studio saying, look, don't make this too complicated. The simpler it is, the more
better,
people can just come in and make it their own and enjoy it. It's going to be mostly kids. It's going to be basketball fans. Like, I don't watch a lot of basketball. I'm not into basketball. So much of the beginning of it, I was like, I guess if I was into basketball, this would have an impact on me. Right now, I'm just looking at the story itself.
Yeah. Well, you're into I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like, it could be a different story for people who are really into basketball, especially, a street ball.
Yeah, I mean, like, watching this, it kind of touched me. Like, one of my favorite movies, not a good movie, but one of my favorite sports movies is Like Mike 2, right? And I feel like this movie
You were a kid when you watched that, right?
There's so many different things I expect you to say. like Mike 2.
I thought he was going to say Air Bud, so.
But yeah, like
Joanna Man.
But I felt like some of the things that happen in this movie like are pulled from like Mike 2. Like the whole one-on-one thing, like early on in the film.
I
feel like that was inspired from like Mike 2. I feel like.
That's just
you're right.
And that's also just going out on the court. And playing with people. I mean, in the neighborhoods, playing neighborhood ball, and getting into a game. So I see.
Say your ad, man. I know you got an ad.
The thing is, I really was just talking to you, man. I really was not going to do anything. The moment I gave you the stage. I'm trying to let you talk. I was agreeing with you, man.
You giving back the stage once you do your ad.
I mean, I had nothing but now that we're here. We have to give our word out to Shopify. Sponsor Shopify right now. So eloquently set up by I really was talking to you. I was not doing an ad. But we're here now. And hey, now that we're here, we should talk about this because, I'm talking about artistry. Some of you artists out there, you make things, you make jewelry, you make clothes, you make toys. We have some people who actually make this stuff around here. Like this was made for us by our friend James. I bet he's selling this stuff online. I bet he's making money being his own online entrepreneur. And you know what? You can too. And the best place to start is with Shopify. Shopify makes it easy to get started. First of all, let you set up a good store. You get started with your own design studio. They got hundreds of ready-to-use templates that Shopify helps you to build your beautiful store with. You can get the word out with Shopify because they got a marketing team behind you. Well, they might as well be because Shopify will easily create mail and email, that is, and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling. And best of all, Shopify is your commerce expert because they have world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. Now, you probably won't have to worry about those returns too much. Your stuff is good. But in case you do, Shopify is there for you. Hey, listen, Shopify is also always around with advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer support. Speaking of support, they know that you need to save a little money to make some money, so they're going to do that with this code here. Put in shopify.com/toasted, all lowercase, and you will get a $1 per month trial period. Look at that. You're kind of making money already when you think about it, so go ahead and put that code in right there. Shopify.com/toasted. I want to thank Shopify for sponsoring this portion of the show, and I want to thank all of you out there for your support. All right, you happy? Get back into it. You ain't got to sit up there waiting on me to pounce. Man, listen. I know I don't. Just to really give you an idea of how uninspired the story can be at times. This might seem like a spoiler. I will accept that. But I mean, this is how predictable this movie is. There's no big surprises in there. It looks great. There's some good stuff in there. But when the movie ends, man, anytime your movie ends where the villain just runs away, no closure, they just disappear, and everybody's still celebrating. They ain't asking where they go, or anything. You had nothing.
Yeah.
But I think it says a lot about the movie that I still found it very enjoyable. I just wanted to get those things out the way because normally those things would make me come in and give a much harsher review. And I still like this movie, man, because this is why they stuck with this formula. Because even at its most basic, it works in certain parts. Like example, Will, who's voiced by Caleb McLaughlin. That's the guy from the black kid from Stranger Things. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's how y'all know.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, the black dude from Stranger Things. I still wanted Will to succeed.
Yeah, he was going to. You didn't have to want it.
I know he was, but I still felt the struggle. That's the thing about it.
Hey, listen, I enjoyed the movie, to a certain degree myself.
Yeah.
But what I didn't enjoy was that there was no real tension about whether Will was going to make it or not.
They tried for a kids movie.
Listen, there are certain movies where that is part of the whole experience. You know what's going to happen. I mean, you see a rom-com. You know the couple's getting together for the most part. In a horror movie, you can spot the person who's going to live. Most of the times these structures, they hardly get disrupted. You know them, but unless it's something that's just trying something new, they want to do something different. Most of the time, you know what's happening. Yeah, I knew. I mean, of course, Will is going to succeed. But the whole part of it is watching the struggle of getting there. I know Will is going to succeed, but still, I had to watch him go up against all these oppositions out there. I have to, and it hits certain emotional things, like him being taunted. He's going to win, and that's the thing that makes you actually enjoy when he actually succeeds, because you see what he has to go through, being taunted everywhere he goes. The team rejecting him when he gets there, knowing that nobody wants to be around him. And I like that they didn't play it too sappy, because it never was this thing where he was crying and walking alone. He always tried, man. He was never a whiner. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that about my man Will. I really like that, man. And I thought Caleb McLaughlin did a good job with the voice.
He did.
I also felt that all the voices were really good. Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union is great in this.
As Jet Fillmore. And I actually kind of liked that you had that side story there. She's not exactly a villain. She's an opposition, but man, she's going through it too. Everybody's on her ass about getting older, calling her grandma now and everything, which in sports years, you don't get it. By the time you're 30, you a unc, you a grandpa, a grandma, whatever. She was, I liked that character. That was another side story right there. Like, it wasn't just about Will. They had another person going through it. And she's very, protective of her position now. So when Will comes in, she's setting him up for failure. She's under a lot of anxiety. And I found all the voice actors fun, man. I mean, it's a big cast. Stephen Curry wasn't even bad. He's the giraffe. I forgot the giraffe's name. But
I didn't notice he was a damn giraffe.
I didn't know his name.
Yeah, but see, I didn't know that either. And I went back and thought, and I'm like, you know what? I looked at the giraffe and I heard him and I was like, it didn't sound bad. You can tell he's not the highlight of the character. In fact, because of Stephen Curry, he's probably the least one getting the most screen time.
Well, it did feel like outside of
Lenny is his name.
Gabrielle Union's character and the manager, Jennifer Lewis, like everybody else on the team, outside of Patton Oswalt gave something to the coach character.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt was the what do we call that monkey?
That's a proboscis monkey.
Okay.
But the other teammates, I was like, not a whole lot to them. They're like, she's an ostrich and she's shy and she's into social media, but you don't really get to know anything about her. Like everybody else on the team, you're like, okay, they're just sort of types.
Yeah, you had what's your boy's name?
Which one?
David?
Sheriff Hopper.
Oh, David Harbour.
David Harbour. Yeah, David Harbour. Yeah, he had some good voices. David Harbour, your girl from Bridgerton, your man right there played the Lizard.
Oh, Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll played the Lizard, and Stephen Curry played Lenny the Giraffe. And yeah, Patton Oswalt was great as the coach because he was, the team is especially Jet Fillmore. She's the one that's the coach really. He's just there.
Yeah,
he never had a chance to do anything. And Jennifer Lewis. You knew it was her voice from the beginning.
Yeah.
She plays the hog, who's the owner of the team. She
was actually the first voice I recognized.
Yeah, Warthog. Yeah. She actually was very good. I mean, I knew it was her immediately, and she's very good, man. Listen, I enjoyed watching the characters just for the visual gags they gave some of them, and just for some of the animation. But it's that kind of story where they're not given a whole lot to do. Mm-hmm. I would even say that because we're talking about animals different species playing on the same team. I would agree with you and say that they should have pushed that a little bit more to where they played up to their attributes just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they did that either, as well as with the environments. But again, depends on on what you're looking for. I will tell you the one character that I did like, that I thought that they did a lot with, and I thought he did a good job at the voice, was Aaron Pierre as main attraction.
Oh yeah.
The horse, and I like the horse because the horse I think they do some great animation with him because they take advantage of him being sort of anthropomorphic and human at some parts. And then some parts, when he's really bucking up to somebody, he turns into an actual horse and starts prancing around. I like that his mane is an afro that gets braided. And I like that they make some funny jokes about him, like they mess with his teeth, all gapped and everything. Somebody said teeth like his tongue, like he's trying to get out of jail or something. And I like some of the stuff they do with him. Like he really is on Will's ass, so he's out there making diss tracks now.
I know you think you're all bad, but I'ma have you crying like that. Time we on the court, the smoke's all you.
Diss tracks, beef is big now, so I thought that was kind of fun, But speaking of diss tracks, one of the things I noticed with this, and I haven't noticed this you've noticed it more than I do, but I don't really pay attention to this in movies these days, but I did with this film right here, and that's the soundtrack. I can't name all the people that were on it because I don't know, but I would love to go back and see who some of these who did some of these songs or who's appearing and featuring on this soundtrack. I thought the movie had a great soundtrack. So
one thing about Sony, anytime they can display their soundtrack, boy, they can display it.
With like Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse was huge about it. Yeah, this one is too.
Go ahead, go ahead. I don't. Now that I've got my ad out the way, I want you to go ahead and feel free.
No, well, I'll say I did like the movie. So I did think it could have been a lot better, but animation. At first, it just wasn't. Maybe I saw it on a bad screen. I saw it at Cinemark, so I was like sometimes.
You saw it earlier than we did.
No, I saw it the same day y'all did.
Oh, you were, but you were in Dallas.
Yeah, I saw it in Dallas, but it was like this. Like sometimes they would talk and it wouldn't match. With what was going on. So I was like,
oh, you had a terrible screen.
Damn, you went through them Chris Rock, Kid Rock screenings.
Now you doing it.
I know, I can't help but do it. But you just showed him.
Yeah, I had fun, man. It was a charmful, underdog story. Like I said, I wish it had been more, but I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah, I'm the same way here, man. I think kids are going to grow up. You're going to see the generation grow up, and this is going to be the movie that they're talking about that they grew up with.
Yeah.
It's
it'll be their like Mike too.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed this myself too, man. And I think that it says something that it did that despite all the things that I usually will heavily criticize. And you could tell where the hard work went in to this. I mean, even though the story might not be anything, it's not like it's a lazy film. They put some work into it. I mean, there's nothing else. It's the production alone. And there's some funny visual gags in there, as you just saw. If they're not playing with the animals' attributes when they're playing sports, which they kind of do just a little bit. They have little gags that they do with them. Again, nothing that you haven't seen before. But I had a ostrich putting her face in the dirt, and this jet getting sprayed down with a water bottle and drinking from a water bowl. Yeah. Again, nothing here is revolutionizing anything. It's all pretty safe, except for maybe the art and the animation. So, yeah, I would give this especially thinking about the kids. I'm gonna give this a matinee, probably a high matinee. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, I know I sounded harsh about it, but I do recognize its entertainment value, and I wasn't sitting there hating on it. It was just always that feeling of like, man, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish you had just done more with it, and is so much there to do that with. But you're right. For a new audience, it's going to be a big deal, and it's not a cash grab, and it's not lazy. It just falls short in some ways that could have made it the kind of movie that I would want to see again. I mean, this is one where it's like, man, yeah, the art was cool, the story was once is enough. But it's good. It has every reason to be a very successful movie. For all the good stuff it has got going for it, for me, it kind of comes in as a low matinee.
All right, but there you go.
Okay, yeah, I'm right there with both of y'all. I don't know. It's something with sports movies, especially with basketball sports movies. They just relate to me more. You know, I just love them the most. Especially when I was able to pick up like, oh, this is like Mike, oh, like Mike 2 references, stuff like that. So yeah, I go with a matinee. I have fun.
Yeah, it's fun film.
It's just having a name called The GOAT.
Well, hey.
It ain't The GOAT.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, look, you can say it's better than the other GOAT movie, Him.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I mean, let's look at all the pluses here. You were right. It's better than that other sports movie that came out, Him. And this is from Stephen Curry's company, his production company. I forgot what it's called. Let me see. He has
maybe Him should have used animals instead.
Yeah, no, hell no. It would have made less sense. I
don't think that's possible.
It wouldn't have made any difference, actually. Yeah, but Stephen Curry, let's not forget the last time he dabbled in animation.
What? He been here before?
He's been in animation before. You don't remember?
What he do?
I hate to take you back there, but
I have important news.
Let me guess. The state called and they want to cut you a disability check for your face.
This is from a fool who stares at his orange juice every morning.
this is a big leap from Good Times, which was anything but.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time I saw Stephen Curry in Animation Land, we were in the projects. Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it, and check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon, where we have new stuff coming up all the time, and we'll see you on the next video.